Thank you so much. Yeah, so I think I've I struggled with my own journey with self-discovery and creativity because the education system in India hasn't really given any room for any of that to permeate. And and what I noticed in that journey is young people, especially teenagers, struggle with these three questions that plague them most, right? And most formal institutions, most outlets don't really have answers to them. One, what am I passionate about, right? What makes me come alive? What energizes me? Second is, how do I be successful, right? What do I need to learn to thrive in the next decade or two? And three, where do I start? How do I do something about it? How do I take my first steps? Right? And if our education primarily boiled down to these three questions, I think we would have been a lot further ahead. And this creates a situation where a lot of us end up feeling unfulfilled. We end up being confused, being stressed. It stops us from growing, and we're stuck with sometimes somebody else's plan for our life, right? And that happens a lot in India, where especially kids go in confused. Parents ideally suggest them to become an engineer or any of those stable careers, which many of them don't really connect with. And eventually, after their engineering, after their first job, they feel disillusioned and they feel like they want to move, switch tracks, but sometimes it's too late. So it becomes this wicked problem. And I was going there myself. I was destined to be a banker. I didn't enjoy the lifestyle. I couldn't connect with that anymore. And at that point, I just started asking myself profound questions. And that's something I'm going to tell you a little bit more about in this conversation. And since then, it's been about 12 years since that journey began. And I realized that there's this human potential crisis in our country, and we need to fix this more than ever, because India's a youthful country with millions and millions of graduates coming in every year. And so my company Limitless and I work on helping as many people as possible in as many interactive ways as possible to live sort of the best life they could, or be the best versions of themselves, right? So I want to get into some of these questions right now. So first question, right? What am I passionate about? Now, when I look at passion, usually people tend to have a misconception. Usually they think that passion is a career choice or an activity or a profession. But it's so much more than that. It's actually deeper than that. Passion is actually the high you get when you do something or when you be someone. So when I hear people saying, I actually do this for a living, or this is my passion, let's say music or cooking or art or anything like that, I generally ask them, that's probably an activity that brings it out, but what is the high you get when you cook, or when you make art, or when you make music, or when you play football, right? And usually it comes down to, I love being able to work with challenges. I love being able to work as a team to overcome those challenges. Or I love making something out of nothing. Or I love being able to translate my complex thoughts and emotions onto a piece of paper or through an art form. So when we go one level deeper, you start to understand the nuances of what it is. And you'll see that there's so many outlets that can actually give you that high. So the sooner we identify it, and the more outlets we start to figure out where we can get that, the richer our life will become. Right? So ask yourself sometimes, what did you love doing when you were a kid? Or if you're still in your early teens, what you love doing right now that makes you come alive, that you're so excited by that time disappears. hours have gone by without you realizing it, or you're so excited by it that you're not able to sleep, right? So start to find patterns there. Now, this is a part of a bigger puzzle that I love exploring. It's called Ikigai, which is a Japanese philosophy, which means a reason to wake up each morning, right? And it's that intersection of that sweet spot of what you love, what you're good at, who you really are, your needs, your values, and how you want to contribute into the world, and a practical plan to make that happen. So, and under that, we should also think about our superpowers, things that we're really, really good at. And we start to hone them as we're in our early teens itself. And think about a time, just like a superhero, where you swoop in and you save the day. Think about a time where you came in and solved something for someone. And now people start to associate that skill or that attribute to you, right? They rely on you for that. So start, and if you're still not sure what your superpowers are, maybe ask 5 people that you're closest to. Or you could just simply leave them a text or ask them the next time you meet them to just say, hey, if I had any superpowers, what would they be? And sometimes you'll be surprised by some of these answers. And when you find out what your superpowers are, think about where else can it be used? How else can I really manifest them, right? And take advantage of them, leverage them. So that's about the first question from the 3 questions, right? Next is, how do I be successful? Now, one of the most important things, once you figure out who you are, what you love, what you're good at, is how do you leverage it into the real world, right? So I want to quote my mentor Akshay here. And he once told me, all of us are rich, only some of us have money, right? All of us are rich, only some of us have money. We have many currencies that we build over time, currencies that people think are valuable. These could be skills that we have that are unique. These could be access to something, or our own unique approach to something, or our life experience, or our story, right? So in situations where sometimes you want something, you want access to something, you want something done, and you don't have the money for it, this is where other currencies play a role, right? So think about where you can start acquiring leverage, because as we start aging, we tend to acquire more knowledge, but not enough leverage, not enough that can get us in the door, not enough that can help propel us on a certain platform. So that's another key skill that I learned early on, and something that I try to hone more and more, right? What unique approach do I have to a specific problem? And am I using my skills? Am I using my superpowers? Am I using my passions all together? And am I packaging it the right way? And I built a tool to help people with self-discovery, to help people learn about themselves. And I branded it, it's called Ikigai. I made it sound catchy, I made it sound peppy. And this makes people interested, because people eventually start paying for blueprints. They start paying for something that's packaged, something that seems like a holistic concept, right? And the sooner we're able to create that, a problem that we deeply care about, if you're able to find a unique approach, package it, the better off we'll be, right? Next comes the third question, which is, where do I start? And here I have 2 approaches to this. One is called Vuja Day. Vuja Day, just like deja vu. Deja vu is something that you've never seen before, but it seems familiar to you. Vuja Day is something that you've seen every single day, but today you're looking at it with fresh eyes. Today you're questioning it. Okay, and the way you exercise Vuja Day is by asking simple questions that open possibilities, right? One is why? Why are things the way they are? Why is even school? Why is school so long? And why are we learning certain things? Or why not some of these other skills, right? Or what if? what if we could learn our entire curriculum through play, right? Or how might we? How might we create an Uber-like service that can curb food waste, right? These are questions that open up possibilities. It can help us reimagine the future, and it can help us create that unique approach that I was talking about, right? And once we have that, we need to start building a community. So you can start building a community by first creating a resource map. A resource map is a list of people that we know and the people that we don't know, but we think are amazing, right? And we start listing them down, and we start figuring out how we would like to engage with them. Would we like them as a mentor? Would we like them as somebody who could be a well-wisher? Would we just want to just follow them and just learn about what they post, or learn about them and their approach? Or is there a way that we can eventually work with them? Is there a way that I can offer something that can be a win-win, right? And the sooner you start a resource map, the faster you get access to interesting people as even mentors who can guide you in the right direction, right? Next comes joining communities. So I'm a part of Global Shapers, and I think that's one of the reasons where I get access to opportunities, whether to speak, whether to connect with interesting people from around the world, and it's done me a world of good. There's so many such youth communities that you could be a part of, and no matter what your age is, there are communities where you can join, especially around areas that you care deeply about. So think about these three questions, and the sooner you can get access to these answers, the sooner you start getting clarity about who you are and where you want to go, and starting to question things and finding a unique approach and building a community that can nurture your journey. You can just you can find an approach that most people won't have at that age. You can get a head start just by thinking about these three questions, right? And again, surround yourself with interesting people. Surround yourself with people that are smarter than you, people that are nurturing, people that can be your cheerleaders. You're the average of the 5 people you spend most time with. This is a beautiful quote that I've always connected with, and I always keep reminding myself, right? So pick wisely, and let your passions persuade you, let your dreams direct you, design your life, and live the best story you can tell, and finish your story beautifully. Just these few tips, these few approaches have shaped my life, have opened doors for me, have let me travel, have helped me build my company, run programs, impact people's lives, and make my life meaningful, fulfilling, and fill me with contentment and joy. And I'm sure that some of these approaches, some of these questions can do the same for you. And I hope you have a beautiful journey ahead. Thank you.